nutraceutical nutrition. Sorry. Yeah. This being the National Nutrition Week, which started on the 1st and ends today, the Indian Pharmaceutical Association Students Forum, Pune branch, organized a workshop on nutraceuticals. I gladly welcome you all to this workshop of ours. There we host Mr. Vinod Shetty and Mrs. Indu Ramani as our speakers and judges for today. Mr. Vinod Shetty is a nutritional advisor, trainer, and a life coach. He handled family hospitality and education business. Also was associated with HTI, a leading hospitality training company, for 8 years. During this stint with HTI, he went on to become the CEO of the company and had the opportunity to train, coach, and mentor thousands of professionals from hospitality, aviation, and healthcare industry. A certified nutritionist, he is associated with many nutritions and healthcare personalities worldwide. Sir is currently working in ISIRI Consultants as nutrition advisor. We welcome you, sir. And introducing our next speaker, Mrs. Indu Ramani, a lifestyle and sports nutritionist dedicated to helping individuals using food and supplementation as a cure to heal from the root cause. She emphasizes on quality nutrition choices to optimize health benefits for her clients. Ma'am believes that there is no good or bad food. Just learning about the balance is important. She has had over 25 years of corporate training exposure in training of more than 50,000 individuals from various organizations like Ecolab, DDecor, Blue Dart, LIC, and etc. We welcome you, ma'am, and I request you both to please proceed with the session.
Much. It was lovely hearing you. In fact, sitting there, I could just hear you speak, Nalini. Your voice is amazing and you speak very well. Thank you for introducing us. You really added to our feather. Thank you everyone for having us, for giving us this opportunity. Next half an hour will take addressing or informing the basics that we understand. I have my colleague Vinod here, and Narayani has very kindly introduced him as well. Like mentioned, I've been training for 30 years, never looked around, started my career in training, and that's where I've stayed. Got certified in various other aspects like emotional intelligence, neuroscience, and currently the passion lies with nutrition. Why nutrition? I'll quickly share the story. Now, all of you are from the pharmacy background. And we respect that because you guys save lives, okay? You bring the medication onto the platform and you save lives. You empower doctors. Doctors having all the knowledge about medicine will not be able to do anything unless you have supplied the pharmacy products. Yeah, so we really value what you do. I still don't know each one of you, and it's very little time. Given a choice, I would like to, ask each one of you to unmute yourself, show me your face, and I would love to hear your passion, that what made you take up pharmacy. But I guess given the shortage of time, I will have to go on speaking from whatever I understand. Having belonged to corporate training in different subjects, why am I here as a nutritionist is quickly something that I would like to share. I was very, very young, as young when I was in class 6th, and I saw my mother suddenly going into coma. And she went into coma because her diabetes, her sugar level had shot up to 680 when the normal range is supposed to be 80 to 120. I was so young, didn't even know how to spell diabetes, okay? We were completely dependent on doctors, whatever they said. Now, apparently, one doctor in Kolkata, I'm a North Indian born and brought up in East, married to a South Indian, settled in West. So I'm a Mera Bharat Mahan. So that time I was in Kolkata, and one doctor who did not understand that this could be diabetes thought it was a stomach issue for my mother and kept feeding her with doodh chawal, doodh and rice, because he thought it will be very cooling for the stomach. Nobody knew that that was an absolute poison for a diabetic patient. 18 days of doodh chawal, she went into coma, and then she was hospitalized for 9 months. Those were the days when medical insurance was not available. My father lost every penny of his saving, and we brought her back home. Okay, she came back home, but by then my father had spent so much on her that he went into depression. And as a schoolgirl, I kept looking at both my parents fighting each other's illnesses. I grew up determined to be a doctor. But thanks to this struggle, never got good scores. So lost all the chances of being a doctor. Continued with my career. And when the nutritional education came my way, by then I was settled. I had my own money, my own confidence, my own, the environment was very conducive. I determined to jump on board and study every aspect of nutrition. And this is what I have understood primarily, which I'll share, and then I'll hand it over to Mr. Shetty. Once your body is beautiful, it's like a very, very high-tech car. You know, if you guys were to go and buy a BMW or a Mercedes, which is like 66 lakh, the high top range, and the manual says, please use only petrol and not diesel, even though even the kerosene and the diesel is a kind of a fuel, you will not take a chance to put that in your vehicle. Why? Because you paid a huge amount of money to get that, to acquire that vehicle. You will be very careful. In fact, even the petrol that you will put, you will make sure you put the best premium, super premium petrol and not the chalu petrol. You won't mind spending 30-40 rupees extra per liter. Why? Because the Mercedes costs that much, and that's very precious. My dear friends, if your body lasts, you can buy 10 Mercedes. Your body is way more precious than a Mercedes. You know, today I understand medical science has improved so much that you can actually replace many organs. You can transplant a heart, a liver, a kidney. And if you were to count the money, your body is worth more than 11 crores. So if there is a vehicle that you are in, which is worth that much, you better put the best petrol. And the manual says the best petrol for this body is natural ingredients, which is available in nature. So what you have to figure out is the best of nature and best of science, the combination of that. And the combination of best of nature and best of science is nothing but nutraceutical. You can keep posting your questions. I'll be happy to answer at the end after Mr. Vinod Shetty finishes making his presentation. What is nutraceutical? Nutraceutical is about curing somebody by default. When somebody already is sick, if your liver has already gone bad, nutraceutical, it is too late. You need to go to a pharmaceutical. You need to go to a doctor who will take the help of pharmacy and help you repair your liver or your heart or chest or whatever. Nutraceutical is all about prevention. And that's why so much of focus about what you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, and what quality do you eat. Most of you are young, and having belonged to you today, I also feel I'm very, very young. Of course, nobody dare ask my age. Well, we are very young, younger than you perhaps. Maybe body age wise, because we consume nutraceutical. And that's why, you know, this mechanics is so advanced. It doesn't rotten in a day. And that's why when youngsters initially start consuming junk food, it doesn't impact them. If you are overweight by 1 kilo or 2 kilos, it doesn't matter. You brush it off. You say 2 more days of workout and I'm done with. But the slow damage done inside has huge repercussion. In the same way, when you start consuming nutraceutical nutrition in the concentrated form, when you take the first vitamin of nutrition, which is a concentrated nutrition of various fruits and vegetables, you're not like a Superman that, okay, now you'll have all the energy and you'll run. It won't happen the day one, but if you continue taking every day, it definitely slowly, one cell at a time, removing one bad cell at a time, it has a huge impact on your body, and in the long term you see that benefit. And that's what we're talking about. But before I continue, I just want to quickly also, which I will talk a little more after Mr. Shetty finishes, is about the balance between the physical health, your emotional health, and your brain health. Okay, how that also plays its own role, because you may have the best of nutrition. You may start your day with fruits and vegetables, end your day with the best of the proteins and the nuts and the seeds. But if your emotional health is not in place, the nutrition does not metabolize well and does not give you the best outcome. And that's also another thing that we need to take care. And that's what I'll talk about towards the end. But right now, I would like to hand over the stage to Mr. Shetty. I hope I have clarified the difference between pharmaceutical and nutraceutical. Nutraceutical is all about prevention. By default, it cures. And today it's a huge market. In India, we had it for years. Our dadi, nani, you know, they had all kinds of karas and the juices and the salads, or the achars and the pickles and the, you know, murabbas and all that. But today the whole thing has changed, and we will talk about it. But right now, I would bring up on stage my colleague, Mr. Vinod Shetty, who is an absolute expert in this. Over to you, Mr. Vinod Shetty.
Thank you, Induji. Thank you so much. It's an honor to speak to experts. It's like giving, talking about health with the people who are always in the part of health. So it is not. I'm not going to talk as a expert here. I'm going to talk as my experience in nutraceutical. I'm blessed to have associated with the industry almost 18 years. From last 18 years, I've seen so many cases, so many patients I met, I had an opportunity to meet a lot of doctors, people working in this industry, specifically related to prevention. So my passion is about prevention. My passion is not about disease. My passion is not about cure. My passion is about prevention. How can you prevent? So basically, now most of you are here because you are passionate about health. Same way, I had a passion from the childhood, but unfortunately, because of the situation, I was not able to handle. I didn't have an option to continue with my medical practice. I wanted to go into medical, but unfortunately, I had to join my family business. That is where my education diverted. But fortunately, later on, I moved on to nutrition, and that is where I got into nutrition, nutraceutical. Now, mainly when we talk about nutrition and health, I'm connecting to the one of PPT first. So let us get into PPT. Let us share a screen. Okay. So today now we are going to talk about some healthy points. Now healthy points is one of my Facebook and Insta connection, where I operate as a healthy points. Now, what we're going to talk about how to live healthy and energetic life. Now, we talk about optimal health. When I talk about optimal health, what I say is, from morning to evening, you have to be very, very energetic. And the moment you get up in the morning and till the time you sleep, you have to be energetic. We are not talking about by the time evening you get tired and you feel like are doing nothing. So that is not energy. So we are talking about healthy life, optimal health. So there are many things, there are points which I want to do, but generally, when I, not only students, I'm talking about even elderly people. When I talk about what is most important, health or wealth. So 90% of people always say health. I mean, mostly youngster will always say wealth, not health. But people above 35, 40, they always talk about health. They say health is most important. But then I ask them, ki last 24 hours, which is the thing you thought about, whether it's a health or wealth. So all of them say they thought about wealth, not about health. So same thing when we talk about between health and wealth, we always choose about health. But most of the time we focus on wealth. Now, when I talk about optimal health, and there are certain things which is important. We say 4 pillars of optimal health. What is the 4 pillars of optimal health? First is exercise. Very important aspect, because exercise, people don't I think if you get a time, if everything circumstance good, then only think about exercise. But why I put exercise is the most important thing, because unless until we do exercise or at least 10,000 steps a day, our body doesn't, I mean, the food we eat doesn't get an optimal benefit. So exercise is the first thing. Second thing, I say adequate rest. Person to person, generally it's 6 to 8 hours of sleep or rest is important for person. Now depends on their lifestyle, depends on their body habits, it's important. Now, third is positive mental attitude. Today, I think last 6 months, the kind of situation is happening out there because of the pandemic. There are a lot of challenge about positive mental attitude. It's very difficult to keep ourselves positive, because the information, the kind of information we're getting bombarded with, the kind of social media, lot of things which we are getting is very difficult to get a positive mental attitude. That is where Induji has told that after the session, probably she'll talk about something about emotions, handling emotions. And that's a very important aspect. And the fourth very important thing is nutritional food. Nutritional food. Okay, when we talk about food, there are 5 elements of nutritional food. I say almost 5 elements. First element is water. Now, water is very important. Everybody knows about it. Second is carbohydrate. Carbs are very important aspect of nutrient. Then protein. After that, fat. These are all macronutrient. Then we talk about micronutrient, which is vitamin and minerals. These are the 5 factors when we talk about nutritional food. Let us first think about now. First, from where we get it? Generally, we get it from the food source. Except water, everything we get from the food source. I mean, food source, the challenges is when we talk about food today, there are so many articles, there are so many researches going on, and there's so many news coming that last 20-25 years, the kind of changes happen in the food is phenomenal. 25 years back, our need for body was lesser than what is today. 25 years back, stress was not as much what is today. 25 years back, the pollution was not high. 25 years back, lifestyle was very normal and people are not that much stressed. But today, the kind of stress, the kind of pollution, everything, our need of our body is gone beyond any limit. But the food which is giving is not giving the same thing because of the challenges like fertilizer, chemical which use in the farming. Most of the products, most of the farming products are genetically modified today. Chemical used for the fast growth. You know it, you have seen all in the news that how they use injection and the chemical to grow fruits, vegetable in a span of 1 week or 15 days time, which generally is to take 2 months to 3 months. Commercialization, everything commercialization. Now, We eat for taste and our presentation, the look. When we go and buy an orange, which is a very good source of vitamin C, the first thing, we don't ask the guy that how good it is or how much of vitamin C this might have. We don't think and we don't ask. But what we ask is it sweet? Ye meeta hai kya? And looks, how it looks. Then fast lifestyle, the kind of lifestyle we have, it is costing us a lot of things. So our need of what is gone beyond, when it's very high. But the food which is we are supplying to our body is not giving, which is, there is, I mean, for example, there is an article which says 1990 with the kind of dal which we are using, the dal which used to give a protein in 1998, 90s, today it is not giving even 60% of that, 40% is reduced protein content in the dal. Same way, there was an article in 2015 by one of the very famous research organization that in the orange, which is a very good source of vitamin C, the 1990, if you eat one orange, the quantity of vitamin C in that orange, if you want the same quantity in 2015, you should have 7 oranges. So there is so much of changes, so much of things have changed. So this is so there is a huge gap between what we need and what we eat. And the answer is, either you can eat 10 types of fruits, 10 types of vegetable, 2 portions of rice or wheat, 2 portions of meat or egg, milk, and all organic every day. This is the best, this is how to fulfill our body requirement. But if you eat every day this kind of thing, it's impossible. It is not. So the second choice is supplementation. Supplementation is somewhere we are talking about nutraceuticals. Supplementation. Now, mind you, if you're there is a lot of synthetic supplement we are already taking without our choice. There are many things which we are eating are synthetic supplements, or you by choice you can go for a natural supplement. So let us discuss about what are the things which is required. Now, why natural? Let us talk about natural and synthetic. When we talk about natural, it's very easy to absorb. Our body, it's like a plant, it's like a fruits, vegetable. It's like, you're eating apple, or you're eating suppose you're eating too much of palak. What will happen? Maybe the second day you get a diarrhea, lose motion, nothing more than that. But synthetic, our body will resist. So there is a less absorption. Very simple example of, that calcium, calcium mg, how much mg we prescribe, and how much of mg of vitamin D prescribed, synthetic. So high mg, why we are giving that much of high mg? Because the absorption is very low. And there are, as you know, there are trillions of microbes in our guts, in digestive tract. So when you eat something natural, they don't resist. It's a very micro-friendly. But when you have a synthetic form, it damages the gut microbe. Natural are always plant and nature based. And synthetics are chemically derived, most of them. And in natural, there are rarely side effects, except certain nutrient which doesn't go along. It doesn't harm, but the effectiveness of the nutrition is not optimal when you take certain nutrient together. For example, iron and calcium cannot have together. So that is only side effect. Other than that, there is no side effect. Absorption will be less. That is the only side effect. But in synthetic, there are a lot of side effects. Now, how to find out the right manufacturing practice? When we talk about natural, there are many companies which is out there doing a lot of natural supplements. They manufacture a lot of natural supplement. Now, how do you identify them? How do you see which is the good one, which is the bad one? Now, there are many ways you can identify, but for the layman, it's very difficult to make it out. So when we talk about simple protein, you go to the over the counter and you get for protein. Now the protein which is there, I mean, if you read the label, if you understand, now you people are very, very expert in reading label, I assume that, but layman doesn't read the label. They just go and अच्छा सा protein दे देना. You don't read what is the percentage of protein, how much of the carbohydrate that protein has, what is the absorption level. There are many aspects about then what is the source of the protein. So when you choose, you have to find out what kind of manufacturer we have to get. First of all, when you choose any nutraceutical, we have to see that the company which has a total control from seed to serving, I mean seed to end product, they should have a total control. They should have their own farms. They should have their own processing unit. They should have everything, packaging till the packaging, everything they should have their own. It shouldn't be outsourced. Like the companies, there are certain companies in the world which they have own farmland, where plants are harvested in the according with the nature using sustainable chemical-free method. Harvest and process plants on their own certified organic farms. That is also third-party organic. I mean, there are many companies in India, many farms are in India which they are organic. But who's certifying them? Who's actually monitoring them? Whether it's a certified organic or non-organic, because as a layman we cannot identify whether we say organic or non-organic. Plants are dehydrated basically how they convert the plants are dehydrated and processed within the hour of harvest. Within 2 hours, if you don't process and dehydrate the plants, then it start losing its vitamin contents from the plants and sources. So it is very important within 2 hours it has to be processed. Good manufacturing practices, the company which is manufacturing company which has a very good manufacturing practices, and they should have third party certified. Quality standard is not certified themselves, but the third party. Now they have their own laboratory where the testing happens. More than 200 scientists, microbiologists, chemists, lot of people working together to get the best quality in the nutraceutical. They should have their own good research and development laboratories around the world, not based on other people's feedback. They get the nutrition. There are many companies, I mean, in the market, you are aware that there was an article in Times of India that is more than 65% of the protein which is available in the whey protein available in the market are fake. Now, who's from where they're getting it? Who's manufacturing them? As a layman, we go when they go to the gym, and the gym instructor or the trainer, whatever they suggest, we just take it. And I've seen so many cases where they're getting a problem, challenges with the health because of that. Entire digestive tract get disturbed with that, entire digestive get damaged because of that. Third party verification. So there are many independent testing labs which give the certification. And it is not happening because of the sponsorship or because they pay the fees. Okay, now let us talk about that 5 elements which we spoke about. It's basically I'm touch base on what are the things is important so that you can understand in nutraceutical, when you talk about nutraceutical, what are the important things for our body? What are the things we on general people, general layman should have a daily basis? First is water. When you talk about water, how much of water we need? We need 1 liter per 25 kg per weight. 1 liter per 25 kg per day. This is the water requirement for our body. It carries nutrition to all cells in our body and oxygen to our brain. It's very important aspect. Okay, it allows the body to absorb and assimilate minerals, vitamin, amino acids, glucose, and other substance. It's flushed out toxin and wastes. It helps to regulate our body temperature. It acts as a lubricant for our joint and muscles. That is why water is a very important aspect, which generally we don't take enough of water. Most of the people, most of them, I mean, I think almost 70% of Indian population doesn't have enough of water on a daily basis. Then carbohydrate, we have enough of carbohydrate, but there is 2 types of carbohydrate, which is simple carbs, which we have more than which is required. Then there is a complex carb, which is very important, but we generally don't take it, which is fiber and non-processed starch. These are two very important complex carbs, which is important for health. Now, for a healthy digestive tract, I know that people who have a indigestion problem, constipation challenges, they have acidic challenges. The best solution for that is a fiber, because the good microbes in our digestive tract are become healthy because of the fiber. Now there are many benefits which complex carbs have. It keeps our blood sugar level steady. It helps lower your risk of chronic disease such as a diabetic and heart disease. It helps in lowering LDL cholesterol. It helps in reduce inflammation. Complex carbs promote a healthier digestive system. Now, every health basic fundamental system which is very important for our healthy lifestyle is our healthy digestive system. If our healthy digestive system goes in a toss, then it leads to a lot of complications. So there are billions of bacteria. In fact, there are trillions of bacteria. As science says, it's 10 trillion to 100 trillion bacteria. I mean, if we weigh it, it will get a 250 grams of bacteria in your digestive system. So they need fiber on daily basis. When you take a synthetic medication, generally it destroys those microbes. That is why the people, when they take a lot of high drugs or medication, they get a lot of constipation and digestive tract challenges. Then protein. Now, we don't have much of time today because I can't cover a lot of things, but I'm going fast enough so that I have to finish this within a certain time. So protein is one of the very, very important. I can talk 1 hour for this protein, how important it is, why it's required. We need 1 gram protein per kilowatt per day. Average protein intake in Indian food sources: vegetarian 25 grams, non-vegetarian 35 grams. That's for Indian Dietary Association. This is the data. About 38 trillion cells in our body are made out of protein. Hair, nail, bone, food, blood, each and every organs are protein based. Benefit of protein: it is reduce the appetite and hunger level, increase the muscle mass and strength, good for bones, reduce any kind of carving, boost metabolism and increase fat burning. Now, there are many benefits. First, one of the benefit I would like just to talk about is protein works as a carrier of nutrient from the digestive tract to each organs. So even if you are having a very good healthy food, a nutrient food, if person is a protein deficient, then that nutrient food will not help him because there is no carrier, there is no courier wala. So it lowers the blood pressure, helps body repair itself, reduce type 1, type 2 diabetics. So there are many things. Then fat. Then when we talk about fat, people have a myth that fat is a bad, but fat is very vital micronutrient for a good health. There are 3 kinds of fat: omega-6, omega-9, omega-3. As per Harvard Medical College or school, we need omega-6 to omega-3 in ratio of 4:1. But Indian Dietary Association says our ratio is 70:1, because every food source or every oil source which we eat is omega-6. So there are fish oil. Fish oil is very, very important because it has a proper EPA and DHA. Vegetarian source like nut and oil has only ALA. That is the reason it is not considered to be 100% pure omega-3. So very small percentage which convert into EPA and DHA. So that is the reason flaxseed, there are certain nuts, oil is not recommended for omega-3. There are many benefits. I mean, our cells need omega-3. Outer membrane made up of our brain need omega-3. So it's reduce the blood clotting, strengthen the heart nerves, helps in decreasing risk of stroke and heart risk failure, reduce irregular heartbeat. It's a very high anti-inflammatory. It helps in depression. Good for kidney function, good for health now, nerves healthy, are very powerful source of anti-inflammatory. Today there are many lifestyle disease which doesn't have any cure. It's called autoimmune disease. And in autoimmune disease, very few medication works, but omega-3 something is very, very good for in autoimmune disease. Lot of studies there, Mayo Clinic studies there, lot of studies there, Harvard Medical College studies are there, which gives you entire detail about what I'm talking about. Very effective for hyperactive children. helps to decrease LDL and increase HDL. Vitamin minerals, we need them in very small quantity on daily basis. 13 vitamin level minerals, many phytonutrients available in the plant. They help shore up bones. There are now, it's you need in a very small quantity. We have to see that the food which you eat should have certain as per the daily recommended dose, whether we're having or not. But generally we don't think about when we're having food. So there are majorly two types of vitamins: water soluble, which gives you release energy, produce energy, supports building cells and synthesize protein, makes collagen, build immunity. There are fat soluble vitamin, which is vitamin A, D, E, K, which helps for build bones, protect vision, protects our bodies, skin health. Now these are all, I mean, these are all not something I'm talking very new. If you go Google it out, you'll get all the details which I'm talking about. But just I want to touch base all the things which is a reason I'm going through. Minerals, there are many minerals which is important for water balance, bone health. Now, just want to touch base on the Indian hubs and health. Indian hubs, basically hub which is very important, which is there for almost more than 5,000 years. Actually documented 5,000 years. It is one particular report I read that it almost 20,000 years back they are using this Rig Veda and all that. They mentioned about herbs which is there worldwide popular. There are thousands of studies documenting effective herbal medicine from around the globe. So many life conditions, serious health conditions, herbs are working miracles. Then herbs medicine tend to be safer than pharmaceutical. This is not I'm saying, this is a research report which is saying on the certain aspects. Now, most of the herbs contain dozens and sometimes hundreds of healing components. I mean, one Tulsi, it's a very popular herbs in India, has so many benefits. I mean, it is anti-inflammatory, it improves the immunity. There are many benefits about Tulsi. But the challenge is only that how you can identify which herbs is good, because we don't know. We talk about Tulsi. There are hundreds of families of Tulsi. Which Tulsi is the best one? So in the history, it shows that Krishna Tulsi is one of the best Tulsi. But how you identify that? So when we talk about best herbs, it should be non-GMO. It shouldn't be a genetically modified one. They should have certified organic herbs. It should be DNA fingerprinted herbs. Now, what is DNA fingerprint? As I said, one Tulsi has 150, more than 150 families. So which is the best Tulsi and how you identify? There are certain companies which will identify through the DNA test that it's the same family of that particular plant, which gives a maximum potent and purity. So I'm talking about balancing science and the nature together. So we talk about Tulsi. I can't just plant Tulsi in my house outside garden and every day I can have a Tulsi. There is a difference of Tulsi. I have to identify which is the best Tulsi. Then we talk, there is an active ingredient should be extracted. So total control over seed to end product. Now, if you have a question, we are going to handle it. You can put it in a chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask questions. I mean, this is a very short time, like whichever we could have covered, we covered it. If you're in doubt, we can handle it so that we can move to the next program. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think we have very little time. So I guess we'll allocate only 3 minutes for questions because then you guys need to start presenting.
Any one of you who's got a question can raise your hands or just drop it in the chat section.
Okay.
Okay, we have Shweta for a question.
Hello.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Shweta.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, sir, good evening. I just wanted to ask, like, how can we eat a balanced diet? Like, should we skip to a vegetarian diet, or should we eat whatever we are eating? Like, how can we balance our diet, particularly like to get the best out of it?
Vinod,
Okay, Shweta, what is your,
you're muted, Vinod.
sorry, Shweta, what is mean by balanced diet for you?
Shweta, if you could unmute yourself.
Shweta? Hi, Shweta.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm really
What
sorry.
is the what is the
Yes,
balanced
sir.
diet?
So according to me, balanced diet is like if the our diet is completely composed, like it is not imbalanced, like the proper amount of protein, carbohydrate, fats, vitamin, minerals, it should be in proper proportion according to our like body mass index. So
Right.
that's I think the perfect
Yeah.
balanced diet.
Yeah, agreed. So the 5 components which I spoke to about, other than that, one more component which can we can add is air, oxygen. Yeah, but when talk about balanced diet, we are talking about those 5 elements which you are having on daily basis. But tell me how many times when we talk about a diet, how many times when you are taking a breakfast, how many times you think that in this breakfast, what is the amount of protein is there, what is the amount of vitamin A is there, B is there, C is there, D is there, E is there. Do we ever think about that? We never think about that. So whatever the balance diet we are talking about, it's a myth actually. So as per World Health Organization, they had prescribed certain vitamin minerals intake daily basis. Yeah, daily recommended dose. So those daily recommended dose, if you are taking daily basis, for example, protein 1 gram per kilo weight. So do we ever think about while having a food that what is the gram of protein I had today? And how much of that protein has digested or absorbed by body, because you're eating protein is something different and your body is getting absorbed. That getting absorbed in your body is a different aspect. So that is very difficult to monitor. So that is the reason when you talk about, that is where I'm talking about supplementation comes into the picture. Why we need a supplementation? Because the diet which you're eating is not giving a balanced diet. It's only that myth, I can say. Nobody can see when say suppose somebody says if you eat 100 grams of say orange and you will get a 10 mg of vitamin C. Now who had invented that? Who had discovered that? Who had written that? Which orange they had taken into consideration? Whether they had taken that consideration of orange which is available in Europe or in America or in Africa or in Australia? Which orange they counted? And how much of the orange is there in our orange which is available in Nagpur or in India? What orange are I eating? Suppose you want to you have a palak is a good palak. Now how do you know that the palak came to your home? It came from right source. Who know that doesn't come from a railway track of Bareilly? Is there any stamp in it? And you know very well that one particular, after harvesting from the farm, it comes to our home after 3-4 days. So what is the quality of palak we are eating? It is just that we are self-satisfying, saying that I ate palak today, but that palak doesn't give any actual requirement which is required of. It is not giving nutrient which is required for body.
Thank you, Vinod. That was very, very valid. But I think now we need to start with the presentations. There are many other questions here, but I guess we have very little time. However, like Vinod said, just one source. First of all, the quality needs to be assured. And I think what we will do is we will leave Vinod's Facebook page so that you can put your questions there and you can have an ongoing answers from him. Does that make sense?
I had given a number over there. They can note down the number later on. They can check with us. There are 3 numbers which is there in the last page.
Yes. You'll put it in the chat now?
No, it is 1 second.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I can do in a chat.
Yes, sir. You could just send it in the chat box.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Narayani, let's move with the program.
Yeah. So moving ahead to the workshop, we have a lot of students participating from various colleges in Pune. So let me brief you all about the rules for the presentation. The time allotted for each student is 3 minutes. Max to max, we are entertained for 5 minutes as such. The students can present any topic on nutrition verbally. The speakers will be the judges for the day, and your names will be called out alphabetically. And there is no need of PowerPoint presentation. So the first presentation will be from Ajinkya. Do we have Ajinkya with us? Till then Ajinkya comes. Is Ankita Bhau Sahib ready?
I see Ajinkya there, but I can see him in the participants list.
Ajinkya, could you unmute yourself? Or if Ankita is ready?
Excuse me. So I've changed the settings. The participants can unmute themselves. They don't have to raise their hands.
Okay. So Ajinkya, could you please unmute yourself and proceed? Okay, fine. Can we go with Ankita Bhau Sahib? I guess we don't have Ankita as well. So the third person is Balaji. Balaji Kendere. Chaitanya Gupta. Okay. I see Jayanti Joshi over here, so we can start with Jayanti. You can unmute yourself and start off with the presentation.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the respected judges and my fellow participants. I'm Jayanti Joshi from second year B.Pharm, and I will be talking about nutraceuticals, which is a part of the wide spectrum of nutrition. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine.
Can you please switch on your video?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Is it okay if I read out a little bit from my notes?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. So let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food, as it was rightly said by Hippocrates. We live in the year of 2020 where everything has come to standstill and the economy suffers, all because of a tiny virus which is wreaking havoc and endangering many lives. This situation is a testimony to the fact that nutrition is a integral part of our health, which is a part of nutrition. This word was coined by Stephen De Fellis, who was the chairman of the Foundation of Innovation in Medicine. As the name suggests, it is a blend of nutrition and pharmaceutical. It can be conveniently defined as a product which is produced from food, and it can be sold in the form of powders, tablets, pills, and many other dosage forms. These nutraceutical products can be specifically used for treatment of certain medical conditions or chronic diseases, and also it can be used as a preventive measure, which is the motto of nutraceutical products. The nutraceutical products can be divided into various categories, but the important ones are the dietary supplements. The dietary supplements act as an added supplement to the daily diet, and they consist of amino acids, enzymes, and various metabolites. These are importantly used in sports nutrition, and they can help in weight loss. Some of the examples include dairy products and ketogenic dietary supplements. The second important one is functional supplements, which are actually ingredients which contain components which add to the physiological and medicinal benefit. They can be also called as added supplements, and they specifically help in the prevention of or in the cure of deficiency diseases like vitamin B12 deficiency, which is very common, and to cure scurvy. Apart from these, there are many categories like prebiotics, probiotics, herbal supplements. Mm, actually, nutraceuticals is one of the emerging fields right now. But we live in a world where social media and influencers focus or mostly emphasize on workout videos and challenges. But we should understand that nutrition is one of the topic which is of paramount importance in healthcare. So, and it has many benefits. Like the most important one, it is naturally occurring, so there are very few adverse effects. Then it can be used for treating specifically deficiency diseases. It can also help to treat certain medical conditions of lifestyle diseases like diabetes, where lipoic acid, which is an antioxidant, it is used for the treatment of diabetic neuropathy. Also, polyphenol, which is also a nutraceutical product, it is useful for preventing and controlling arterial diseases. At the same time, obesity, which is one of the most common health problems, it can be cured with the help of green tea and ephedrine and caffeine. Curcumin, which is a type of polyphenol, it acts as an anti-carcinogenic, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory agent. There is still a growing awareness of nutrition and investment in diet in the long-term effects. India has a large scope of expanding this field. Like there are enough there are qualified human resources, world-class research and development facilities, and raw materials, which give India an edge compared to other countries. The market has been growing exponentially, and this has been by the functional food and beverage categories. Nutraceutical sector is majorly occupied by companies like Candela Healthcare, Amway, Dabur, and Medicare. It has been investigated and studied by researchers that nutraceutical products, they have a profound effect, and they can actually they are very active. They can actually help in the metabolic processes, and they have very little adverse effects. However, due to the very long compliance procedures, and also because of the patents, and since it is a fairly new and unfamiliar field, there is still a lot of work which can be done.
Jayanti, 5 minutes are
Yes.
over. So if you could just sum it up in the next 30 seconds.
Yes, I can. So India has a potential market of 146 million customers, and in that way, it can actually constitute a very large market, acquiring good revenue. So the nutraceutical industry has actually been prevailing since a long time. It is actually belongs to the roots of our country. So with the help of innovation and successful implement, it can be a boon to the population for a long-term effect. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayanti. Next up, we have Madhav Gandhi. Ma'am is clapping for you. So next up, we have
Thank you,
Madhav
ma'am.
Gandhi. Just make sure all the contestants, you finish it between 3 to 4 minutes. I'll remind you when you cross the 3-minute timer. Okay?
Ideally 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Good evening, honorable judges. Am I audible?
Yes, Madhav.
You're audible, you're not visible.
Okay, ma'am. Give me a minute. Okay, ma'am. Now, I'm visible as well, right? Yeah. So, good evening, honorable judges and everyone present here. I am Madhav Gandhi from second year B.Pharm. I would like to talk upon the topic of food intolerance. And before starting off, I would like to discuss one point regarding food hypersensitivity, which broadly considers food allergies and intolerances as well. So there is a very fine line of difference between food intolerance and food allergy, where food allergy involves the immune system as a problem to us, and food intolerance involves general illness symptoms. For example, if there is a intolerance regarding any food, then there might be symptom of diarrhea, rashes, bloating, headache, etc. So this is the difference between food intolerance, and food allergy. So how do we diagnose actually food intolerance? There's no such specific way to diagnose food intolerance. because often we don't consider our food as the problem causing point. So diagnosis can be made by elimination diet, which narrow down offending food, simply cutting out the food we eat and which are causing problem to us. And then I would like to discuss some of the most common food which causes intolerances. For example, there is dairy food, gluten, and caffeine, and amine this intolerance. Coming on dairy, since many of the dairy products contain lactose, which is a sugar, and it is metabolized in our body and which is digested in our body through an enzyme called lactase. So when there is a shortage of this enzyme lactase, often there is an intolerance of the sugar lactose, which causes nausea, diarrhea, bloating, abdominal pain, and gas. And 60 to 55% of the world population suffers from this problem. And this can be treated by supplements for lactase enzyme, as well as we can prevent dairy products. We can try alternatives for the nutrition. Coming on gluten, gluten are the proteins which we got from wheat, barley, and rice flour. And immunological problems are basically concerned with gluten. How? Because there are three types of complications involved with gluten intolerances, which are condition-related problems, which is celiac disease, non-celiac, gluten sensitivity, and wheat allergy. Where celiac disease involves this immunological problem, and whereas non-celiac simply occurs in the people who does not have gluten tolerance. Coming on caffeine, we all know that we consume a lot of coffee nowadays and cold drinks and soda and all, which all contains caffeine. Usually, an adult can have 400 mg of caffeine a day, but in some cases, we have seen that caffeine intolerance causes problems, serious problems like increased blood pressure and drowsiness, bloatingness, and this anxiety, hyperdepression. Reason why? Because caffeine inhibits adenosine, which initiates sleep cycle and this drowsiness. So when we are taking too much amount of caffeine, intolerance builds, and we suffer from all these symptoms like rapid heartbeat, anxiety, insomnia, etc. So this was all about caffeine.
Yeah.
Now,
Madhav, your 3 minutes are
basically
over.
there are
Just
many
try to
amines
sum it
in our
up.
present in our body. Okay, yeah, this is last one. So I'm talking about amines. Histamine is a very important this inflammatory mediator in our body in response to allergy. In many cases, histamine is also considered as intolerant in the body due to the absence of enzyme called diamine oxidase and N-methyl furase, because the functioning of these enzymes become impaired. So this often causes the same problem like itching, flushing of skin, headache, stomach cramps, etc. So we should prevent food like citrus food and cereals and dry food also. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhav. Next up, we have Shruti Patwal. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, Shruti.
So 70% of the deaths worldwide are due to chronic diseases. And these chronic diseases are attributed to four main factors. First, tobacco, alcohol, inactivity, and the last one being a poor diet. So now we all can understand how important it is to have a good diet. Good evening, everyone. I am Shruti Patwal, and today I'll be talking about the Canadian food diet. So, as most of us believe that a good diet is the one which is low in calories, but that's not the fact. A good diet is the one which provides you with adequate amount of calories, ensuring that you have all the necessary amount. You're having all the necessary amounts of micro and macronutrients in your diet. So, consider you have a plate. So the Canadian food guide suggests that half of this plate should be constituted by vegetables and fruits. Now, talking about fruits, we should always remember that we should have just one fruit at a time, because if we have more than one fruit, fruits are having fructose, which is a fruit sugar. Now this fruit sugar, if being taken in large amounts, can lead to detrimental effects, one of which being an increase in the weight. So now we know that we should only have one fruit at a time. So whenever you are in a doubt, just go for veggies. Next point I would like to mention is do not go for fruit juices. Why? Because even a glass of fruit juice is not made out of just one fruit. It is made out of almost 3 to 4 fruits. So as I earlier mentioned, just one fruit at a time, even a fruit juice is a no. Talking about the quarter of the next half, it should be comprising of whole grains. So what is a whole grain? A whole grain is the one which consists of the endosperm, the bran and the germ. Comparatively, refined grains are the one which do not contain any one of these components. So always go for whole grain foods, whole grains like rice, corn, barley. The final quarter of your food portion should be consisting of proteins. So there's this popular myth wherein people follow that they'll cut down on their carbs and everything, but they'll increase the amount of proteins. So well, to highlight it, proteins and carbohydrates have the same amount of calories. So if you cut down on carbs and increase your proteins, that's gonna lead you nowhere, because the number of calories that you're intaking is still the same. So lastly, I would just like to conclude saying that we should always eat right, eat healthy, because a good diet means a good us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shruti. Next up, we have Shweta Pathak.
Hello.
Yeah, Shweta, you're audible.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone, the honorable judges and my fellow participants. Hello.
Can you please turn your video on, Shweta?
I wish I could, but I have no electricity at my place. Okay. So, hello.
Yes, Shweta, go on.
Okay. So I'll be talking about the vegetarian diet patterns and in the how is it useful for the prevention and treatment of diseases. So I'll be just starting with the beginning. So let's just get started. These are the dietary patterns that emphasize the consumption of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes, and are recognized for their health promoting factors, of course. It is a complete vegan diet which is rich in fiber, antioxidants, and phytochemicals, but much lower in saturated fat, added sugar, animal protein, and sodium compared to other conventional diet plans. I've just made one survey, like the current 2015-20 dietary guidelines for Americans recommended a vegetarian diet pattern along with the Mediterranean and healthy US diet patterns were like much more beneficial rather than like the non-veg diet patterns. And these vegetarian diet patterns they possess minimal processed food, which is like very important because if you we can see in our surrounding, like many people are suffering from obesity. So if you cut down these processed food, then you will definitely tackle the obesity part. And now another survey. Cardiovascular disease is the leading global cause of mortality, being responsible for like 46% of non-communicable disease deaths. It has been estimated that about 85.6 million Americans are like living under some kind of cardiovascular disease. Reason for this is like low overall diet quality and lack of exercise. It has been also noted that self-reported dietary vegetarian diet pattern was associated with 22% lower cardiovascular mortality and 28% lower incidence of cardiovascular disease. Not only vegetarian diet is associated with cardiovascular disease, but it also reduces the risk factors of obesity and cardiometabolic processes. It is like very helpful for preventing diabetes type 1 and type 2, as Shetty sir has already said us. It enhances the health of our gut. Like it promotes a more diverse and stable gut and increase the short chain fatty acid producing bacteria, the SCFA. It also improves immune function, blood-brain barrier integrity, increase insulin sensitivity, and has cardiovascular protective effects. And it is like really affordable. If you're like thinking of the cost, so it's really affordable and cheaper in cost. And like lastly, I would like enlighten few of the points, like how can you have a great diet plan. That is timing. In this pandemic we often like sleep at 3 and woke up at 10. That is like really bad. So you have to keep in your mind the timing should be perfect, because while sleeping our body is like in 8 hours of rest, and the first meal should be heavier and it should be full of nutrients. So do not eat coffee or caffeine, because like it won't help you, but you can switch to a better diet plan. Then detoxification is much important. It is very important to detox your body. uh,
Shweta,
and
your
then
3 minutes are over. Just try to sum it up, okay?
okay, just 10 seconds. And lastly, the fiber amount, like the foods which we eat, it should be high in fiber, because it will keep you fuller for a longer period of time. uh, and it is very necessary, because if you are like suffering from obesity, then you can increase the amount of fibers in your food. So that's all I want to say, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Shweta. Next up, we have Sonia Jain. Sorry. Yeah.
Hello, this is
Yes.
Soumya Jain.
Yes. You got to please proceed.
Can you put on the video, Soumya?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining for this today's webinar. Myself Soumya Jain from BPharm third year, and I am here to present you say about nutraceuticals. Nutraceutical significant effects on blood pressure control have been reported from dietary approaches to stop hypertension. Types of nutraceuticals availability at worldwide from food products are based on type of nutraceuticals, availability from food sources, dietary fiber, probiotics, prebiotics, and polyunsaturated fatty acids, antioxidant, vitamins, polyphenol species. And cardiovascular disease factors control are diet-rich food are fruits, vegetables, unrefined grains, fish or low fat dietary products, low in saturated fats and sodium, advancing age, male gender types. Fortified nutraceuticals are synthesized from fortification of food components, which is completed by addition of micronutrients, trace elements, or to food. It has enhanced the effectiveness and nutritional value of formulated food products, and milk fortification is done with cholesterol for treatment of vitamin D deficiency patients. Food sources with nutraceuticals properties of different health benefit in many diseases is Phyllanthus emblica. Fruit pulp or dried fruits is used by patient diuretic and anti Jennings shows and utilized in diabetes, osteoarthritis with chondroprotective potentials. Artemisia, shoot decoctions and derived solvent extracts are used.
Soumya, you're still there? Okay, let's move on to Sudhanshu then. Soumya can join us later.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So good evening, one and all. Today I would like to present and share my views on one nutraceutical which is a part of dietary fiber which interests me the most, which is inulin. So I don't know why that interests me, but maybe it bears beautiful purple flowers. That may be the attracting factor. But inulin is a you can say nutraceutical which has several good effects on our body, which it can prevent several serious and common disorders. But according to my notes, or according to what I read, there is still a bit of unclarity that what is the mechanism of action of inulin. So as others like Jayanti explained the whole definition and all the characteristics of nutraceuticals, I would not like to repeat that. She said it perfectly, that it's the perfect combination of nutrition and pharmaceuticals, and they help to prevent various diseases. So getting on my topic, inulin is basically a starchy substance which is found in variety of fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Some examples are wheat, onions, bananas, and also asparagus. But the inulin which is used in the medical or pharmaceutical industry is basically obtained by soaking chicory roots in hot water, and those roots bear nice, beautiful purple flowers. So it is actually, the inulin is not directly absorbed or digested in our stomach. Rather, it goes through the intestine to the bowels, where it is responsible for the generation of particular bacterial species, which help to improve the bowel function. So inulin is becoming famous nowadays. I even read one or two articles during this period of lockdown. It's becoming famous because it is used basically in the treatment of obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and diabetes, the most three common and serious diseases that the world is facing right now. It improves the blood sugar levels in the diabetic patients, and thus it is helpful for the diabetic patients. And actually, the mechanism of action is still unclear. It tends to lower fat and decrease the triglyceride levels in people who are overweight or who are facing the problem of obesity. Also, inulin tends to lower the triglycerides in the blood, which is also helpful for the people with cardiovascular diseases. It prevents various cardiovascular diseases. So as everything has side effects, the side effects of inulin are some of the stomach disorders if it is taken at higher doses. That may include gases, bloating, cramps, and even diarrhea. Though it is considered possibly safe in pregnancy and during breastfeeding, it is generally avoided. The doctors usually avoid to prescribe it. Usually, the dosing of inulin ranges from 10 to 30 grams per day for a short period of time. In constipation, it is given around 12 to 40 grams per day for 4 weeks. In diabetes, it is given around 10 grams per day for the period of 8 weeks. In obesity and for cardiovascular diseases, it is given in the range of 10 to 30 grams per day for ranging from 6 to 8 weeks. In children, the doses are usually lower, that may range from 10 to 12 grams per day for constipation and obesity. So yeah, that was my analysis of the perfect dietary fiber, which is inulin. And in future, I would like to work upon that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sudhanshu.
Thank you.
This is the last call for all the people who have called out their names before. I can't see any one of them in the meeting right now. So just in case if someone is yet to present, they can unmute yourself. Till then, ma'am, let's address the questions we have in the chat section. There's a question from
Yeah, I think they have already been addressed.
Yeah, they have already been addressed. Okay.
So
I guess
I would like to call Vinod and discuss the speakers.
sorry, ma'am. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. I say,
Yes,
give
ma'am,
us a minute. I would like to call Vinod and discuss.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Okay, I think we've discussed and we would like to announce. Okay, all the kids have kind of prepared themselves well. I'm sure they put in the effort. I wish we could hear more of you. I don't know why. It always happens that, when you're doing something good, timing is always an issue. But I wish we could hear you more. Okay, all of you were good, but today when you were presenting, I have certain points to make. First of all, Shruti, your speaking style was very good. You were very confident, you were prepared, you knew your subject, but I think your data could improve. Your data is not very current and a lot of concepts were mixed up. So, but your style of presentation and your confidence is very, very good. I really liked it, but because of the data, you're lagging behind. If it was very well researched, because you spoke about calorie deficit. Calorie deficit is not the only and the best way of managing obesity. Okay. In fact, that's the worst way of managing obesity today. If I don't let you eat for 2 days, you will lose calories, but you will also fall sick. You will end up in the hospital, and that's not the right way of losing weight. So that's where you got completely mixed up, and that's why you need to really clarify your concept of difference between carbs versus proteins. So I guess you study a little more, but I really liked the way you presented. You were confident and very good. Okay. Soumya, you were completely like, you disappeared. Your presentation did not finish. Your video was not on. There was no engagement. We could not judge you at all. I wish we could hear you properly. Madhav, can I see Madhav? Okay. Madhav Gandhi, your presentation was good. Your concept was good. You were clear about what you were saying. Your food intolerance, whatever theory you were sharing, the elimination process and all, you were very clear. But I wish you had presented a little more boldly. Nutrition, you need to be absolutely strong on your subject. You need to have complete clarity and then present it with conviction, because there are 101 theories on every aspect of nutrition. And it also goes a long way with your belief system, and it also works a lot with your emotional self. So the same elimination process at one emotional altitude will not work well, whereas at another emotional altitude, it will work very well. Okay, I'm recently handling a candidate who never would touch coconut, but currently he is at a good space emotionally, and he is even eating South Indian day and night, and no rashes, no outbreaks. So I guess, but your topic was good, very interesting, and you were handling it well. However, we still can't choose you as top speaker. Okay. So I hope I've clarified what I'm trying to say.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. I'll make sure of.
Yeah. So Jayanti is the one who's going to be selected as the runners-up, because even though she read the material, yeah, but she was quite okay with her topic and presentation. She's the runners-up. And the final winner, I would go with Sudhanshu, because Sudhanshu is absolutely clear about what he was talking, the subject, the topic, and the confidence. Everything that you mentioned, Sudhanshu, was apt. And yeah, I agree. This is to be used very cautiously. It is not a generic product, but and you knew that and you mentioned that. So we will go with Sudhanshu as the winner.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Congratulations to Jayanti and Sudhanshu. And you both delivered great performances, great presentations today. So with this, we conclude with our session today. And I would like to thank Miss Indu ma'am and Vinod sir, because you guys cleared our mind in a way, differentiating pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals altogether. And also it was great to know that our body is worth so many crores. Matlab, it's just cherry on top. And then it's very important for us to keep all the 4 pillars in our mind and help our body grow. So yeah, I guess I couldn't be grateful enough for you guys to take time out and conduct this session for us. And yeah, hearty congratulations to Jayanti and Sudhanshu. And I hope to see you guys very soon. And on behalf of our IPASF President, Joint Secretary and Secretary, and our entire family, IPASF Pune family, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Just because your bodies are worth so many crores, now you can all feel rich and be happy, but don't start selling it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Great.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Thank you.